video from the office today. Woke up late. Couldn't do my morning stuff, my morning videos. Still morning, but just running behind. But I was thinking a lot this morning about the stigma behind recovering addicts, and sometimes why people have a hard time going into recovery. A lot of people think that, I don't know, it just seems like people, you know, they look at addicts or people in recovery and they're like nasty, just go, you know, just gross people. Oh, you were a drug addict. Well, that's, you know, but a lot of people don't realize that, you know, there's a lot of stuff people are addicted to out there. I mean, dopamine is one of the biggest addictions out there. And you just being on this channel, watching this video, is giving you dopamine fix for the day, or it may not. Sugar is probably one of the biggest drugs out there. It's one of the hardest to get rid of. And, you know, I think that's what causes a lot of people that are addicts and have a hard time getting into rehab or asking for help, is they're embarrassed about asking for help. You know, and it's a tough thing to do. You know, I mean, I never even originally had asked for help. I was kind of forced into recovery and didn't want to lose my kids. And once I started to get clean, I realized just all the stupid stuff I was doing, bad stuff. You know, and I mean, when you're on drugs, you don't realize that some of the inhibitions that you have, it's, you know, the quickest way to find out is alcohol. You know, when you get drunk, your inhibitions drop. And those inhibitions dropping, you know, that's short term for alcohol, and eventually it becomes long term. But for other drugs, it's, you know, you slowly notice. You may not notice when you're high, but you notice when you're sober that your inhibitions and your stuff you wouldn't have done before, you're finding yourself doing, you know. And most drug addicts, they don't start with the needle. They don't start with heroin. You know, most of the addicts that I know right now started with a surgery or a back injury or something along those lines, and, you know, oxys and Percocet. They, you know, once the prescription's cut off, it's, what do you do now? You know, you can't stop. You're still in pain. I'm here to tell you that oxys and Percocet cause pain, and you don't realize it, especially when you're working and you're taking those pain pills. You're hurting, and, you know, you don't realize it. And when the prescription cuts off, a lot of people, they move on. They don't quit. They move on to heroin, usually snorting it, because it's the easiest way. And then there's that one guy that's going to be like, you just try the needle, it's better. And thankfully, I never went to the needle. I couldn't bring myself to it because I'm afraid of needles. But there's always going to be that one guy that's going to be like, you should try this. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. But it's eventual progression, and you don't realize how bad you're getting until you're there. And that rock bottom, you know, I mean, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day about, you know, used to, when you would drop your bag and spill some, you would have never thought about picking up a straw and going right out of a shag carpet. But you know, I mean, you think back now and you're like, my God, I was a horrible human. And I don't know, I just feel that something's telling me I should share this. Maybe some of you out there feel that asking for help is embarrassing. It's not. It's really not. If you need help, ask for it. If you're in a bad spot, get to recovery. Get in a rehab. Get into 7-day programs to get the help you need. You know, it's important to get to that stepping point, because the next stepping point could be your last. And it's never too late to get into recovery, man. I mean, you know, you're never too old to get clean. It's important that you get clean, no matter what age you are. There's people out there that care for you. There's things that you should be doing that are making your life better instead of worse. And drugs aren't your life. Your life needs to be here on earth, not high, not stoned, not drunk. You gotta get clean, man. There's too much stuff in this country that can kill you. Don't help it out by adding to it. You know, I mean, you could die in a car crash, you could die in a plane crash. There's no reason to try and kill yourself with drugs. And if you want to say you're depressed and the drugs help you, I've been there. I know the drugs ain't helping you. I assure you, the drugs aren't helping you. And you're gonna go through that crash. Getting clean is painful. You're gonna go through the depression, the anxiety, the fear. It's all fear. What you need to learn is how to ask God to help you with your emotions, because doing the drugs is letting those emotions control you, and that's not the way we live. We need to be able to understand that, and you're not going to be able to understand that while you're high. You've got to be clear, focused minded, and let God help you get out of that depression, out of that anxiety, out of that fear. There's nothing to fear. And I'll tell you the same thing I tell my guys at work. There's nothing that you can break that can't be fixed. You're not beyond the point of fixing, no matter where you are. You're not beyond the point of being fixed, of getting the recovery, getting clean. You're just you're at another stage in your life, and now it's time to move on to that other stage. I guess that's what I have to say. I feel like I needed to say that this morning. I have some new videos, Back to the Kitchen.